What's up, everyone? Welcome to Mel's Reviews. I am Mel Asylum, and here is the Galactic Tea. Ooh. What is today's Galactic Tea? Resident Alien. The whole show, not just a person. I'm going to talk about the whole show from what I've seen, which is only season 1 and 2. Indigo, please. All right, let's go. So, the premise of the Resident Alien is that an alien has come to Earth in order to destroy all the humans. How cliche. His ship has a malfunction. It breaks down, and he is stuck on Earth, having to deal with us humans and figure us out. Most humans cannot see him because he can change the way he looks. However, there is one who can, and he's a little boy, a little 9 or 10-year-old. He's in 4th grade kid who loves space, love alien stuff. Total geek. I love this kid. It's so much fun to see. Like, as you know, my engineer is a 4th grader as well, so I understand. Like, I love Gen Alpha. They're so cute. So he comes to Earth and takes on the body of a guy named Harry. Harry was a doctor that he killed because convenience. His house is on the outskirts of a small town, and he can be like not bothered with. Well, he looks for his device that he's lost. Why am I telling the entire story? I'm supposed to be telling what I like. His personality is kind of reminiscent of, like, he has a lot of characteristics of autism, which is very common in lots of aliens in sci-fi. Just using an alien to try to define humanity in general often inadvertently defines autism as not human. And it's really weird. But then, like, also, he still seems really autistic the more human he becomes. So maybe that could be a bridge to teaching, like, we're not that weird, we're just different, but you're still doing it as a defining in aliens, which, I don't know. We could go on about that conversation. If you want to let me know in the comments what you think about that, please do, because I like hearing other people's opinions and learning from it. With his position as town doctor, a very small town, there's only like one doctor really, he can use this to his advantage, which is not very just. That whole sense of justice thing slightly goes out the window unless you consider the fact that sense of justice is based on a point of view. His point of view is protecting himself, and that can be anybody. So can we define exactly what a sense of justice is concretely? No, I don't think so. So one instance is dealing with the little boy, trying to get rid of him. The little boy who's named Max, Max, the young boy who can see his real form, he's very lonely. Like, he's typical little geek. It was very hard. It was not that hard, but it was very relatable for me to be a kid in school and just not being able to connect with anyone else and be bullied for it, until a new kid comes in and he's kind to her and she's just as geeky as he is, and they're so cute. Sarah, her name's Sarah, is the new little girl. She's adorable. She's so smart, and again, reminding me of engineering and his friends, just kind of being really smart but not fitting in necessarily with the rest of the generation necessarily, or a better word would be the vocal minority of his generation, especially since a lot of the things that we hear about Gen Alpha are coming from adults who are the vocal minority of probably my generation. It's the millennials complaining about the millennials and the X's. I'm in the middle, complaining about Gen Alpha being just not like they were. Of course they're not. They're themselves. It's a whole nother generation. Y'all won't like the boomers when they were kids, so what makes you think Alpha and Z is gonna be anything like you? Um, Side rant. Continue my side rant. Every generation has good people and bad people. Doesn't matter. They're all just humans. They're all just humans with different time periods, different technologies, different cultures. It's not like, oh, this generation's so bad, this generation's so bad. Like, this is why the bad people of their generation are bad. And I felt this a lot when I was a substitute, especially like middle schools. You have those kids that are the typical kids that everyone says are the bad ones of the generation that makes their generation look bad. And while you're sitting there watching them, you got a whole rest of the classroom sitting there looking at them like they're crazy too. The millennials looking at them like they're crazy. The rest of the Gen Z, they were Gen Z at the time, were looking at the crazy Gen Zs as though they were crazy because they were crazy. Like, it's not like all Gen Z just is like this. It's the vocal minority that's loud and ruin it for the rest of them. The police, the sheriff, and the deputy. Oh my God, it's so deep and it's goofy. Okay, let me mention the show, what the show is in the first place. I didn't even do that. The show is a comedy drama, and you really get to see that when you get the of police officers investigating murders with the goofiness of how they do that. And yeah, you could get that with like any cop drama, any cop like comedy, but this is more than that. And I love how the comedy shows like the depth of the characters. Even though the sheriff is like dismissive and egotistical, it he plays it in such a way that you can tell it's because of a pain and the insecurity that he has that makes him want to act this way. And it also comes into the story. They did such a good job of like making every character so well rounded, and there's so many characters, and I am impressed. Like, the deputy is very timid. You get to see more of like, you get so many examples of where she gets that timidness, like how she's been shut down so many times in her life, where but she's also like kind of confident in what she knows and realizes a little bit that she does not need to be shut down. It's not relevant. It's not necessary, which then leads into having a one story arc where women are getting justice for just being treated differently, being paid differently, um, not getting to live up to their potential because the men in their lives are overwhelming things, or there's so many. Everyone has something. Asta is such a wonderful character. Like, um, we see like not so stable parts of her background, but then also the stable, loving parts of her background. She's just a really strong character, despite being so very, very human, like very relatable. And then feeding that into the other indigenous people living close by on the reservation, and a lot of them also just live in the city as just people because they are. It also kind of reminds me of watching like the older sci-fi's Wild West, particularly the not the Will Smith one, but the show that inspired that one. They had so many different cultures represented without actually ever representing those cultures. If you know what I mean. Like, you would see plenty of, because it's in the Wild West, you would see there were indigenous characters. They never hired indigenous actors. They would have people from China or from, let's pick places that, or South America or something, and never hire actors of those places. They were just white people with makeup on. Yeah, it was. Oh my god! So this was awesome to see. Awesome to see the culture when there's a scene where Asta is mourning and she goes to her dad and her dad cuts the ends of her hair off. I'm like, I know what that is. Uh, there are lots of cultures that do that, but I remember learning particularly of it. Like one of the times I've heard about it was in indigenous culture. Part of her fully being a character is the story not only just with her dad but her daughter, her ex-husband, her meeting her mom at one point. This such a they filled out the character without making it look like a side mission. Everything still revolves around Harry in what his mission is or what his mission has changed to, blah blah blah. Because in the second season, everything his objective obviously changes because of situations. I'm trying not to tell the story. Um, this also parallels with Harry having a kid, and both the Harry that he killed having family that he just took Harry from, and then him actually having his own little alien baby, so which is adorable. There's the alien hunter that they meet at an alien convention, and there's also where's this thing? This weirdo. This speaking of like washing out other cultures. What I really want to say about him is that he is a very prominent figure in science fiction, even though he does not know that he is fiction. There it is. Um, God. Oh, brown people with with technology that Europeans didn't have. It must have been aliens. Mm. Oh, like I cringe every time I see that dude. I just cringe. Oh, he gets on my nerves. I can't take it. Moving on. So then we get another side story where obviously some random guy in the military is just doing his job, you know, monitoring the skies. And guess what he finds? So now the military is little alien Area 51 like people, Men in Black like people, just the stereotypes of all those things, just really well done without it being like too cheesy and too stupid. It's like, oh, I recognize that, but it's different and it's done nicely and fits into the story. Um, yeah, poor chump. He's just doing his job, and now situations have gotten bad for him. We get a cameo from George Takei. Awesome. Like his voice is it's not even him. It's him. It's just his voice. But you hear his voice and you know who he is. Like so, and then he says the thing. I'm not going to say what it is. If you've seen it, tell me in the comments what's the thing he says that he says. You could even guess what it is if you just know George Takei. Um, and also the leader of the military. Recognizable actress. Totally got typecast. I need to chase down an alien. Or no, Alien was chasing that. Well, and what she's famous for, Alien is. It's not even an alien. Terminator's not an alien. Why did I say that? She got typecast. I think she got typecast. Like special unit, blah blah blah, and like the newer ones, she's like in deep. Not just a random person being chased by Cyborg. There's an organization now, and she's a part of it. So in this one, she's the leader of it, and she's the actress is playing leader of it. Um, Obviously, she knows how to play that role. I mean, typecast. Um, yeah, we love seeing the cameos. Like even the alien hunter. is recognizable for something somewhere, and I don't know what it is. Like, but I've seen him in sci-fi. I mostly watch sci-fi, so um, yeah, him being familiar is kind of cool. That makes me think, what am I going to see the kids in when they get older, or if they even keep acting? Because some of them end up doing other things. Uh, got a long time. They got a long time to do other things. They can do other things, but it would be totally cool if like they got older and was still doing sci-fi. And it's like I recognize him when he was this, or her when she was doing it. It was so cute. But anyway, I think that is everything that I wanted to say about Resident Alien. No, it's not. So I feel like the premise of the show was to not only define what is humanity, but how is humanity. Like, not it defines it as far as how we feel about ourselves and how we feel about others. That is seems to be the main theme for me in this show. He's worried about how other people perceive him, where there's some people who perceive him the way that he wants to be perceived, and then there's some people like the child or the alien hunter that sees what he doesn't want to see. um, there's other people's feelings to consider, there's his own feelings to consider when it comes to so many things in these stories, even when it comes to gender roles and how they get paid and how they're treated, what they get credit for. It's all about the perception of how you see yourself and how others see you, and how they're important, but also there are things that you can consider when it comes to other people's feelings, but then there's things you have to consider about your own feelings, and having a balance of that is awesome. Balance, because you can have so much feelings for only you that you hurt other people, and then there's other people who will have so much feelings for everyone else and hurt themselves. So having a balance between the two should be the goal in life, and this is something that he's learning as an alien, to learn to be a person, even though all the people around him are also still trying to learn this. But he has the unique perspective of being the control. He doesn't come in with any of the humanity to soak in what is humanity, where everyone's just been living in it this whole time and they're still trying to figure it out. So I love that. I love applying that concept to thinking about sci-fi as a science experiment. Having your control, having your different um, things that you mess with, your different variants. So, like the relationship between the sheriff and the deputy is one relationship where you see people needing to consider each other, or people needing to consider themselves. And then sometimes, a lot of times, you see, especially with the sheriff, he's not considering his own feelings, so he doesn't know how to. It impairs him from considering other people's feelings, and his ego is too big to let anything past that. Um, and there's a pain that leads into that ego. It's not just he's just an egotistical chauvinist. It's he's a person. He's a person with feelings and pain, and he's not dealing with it, and that's affecting everything else in his life. So, awesome show. Awesome show. I can't wait to see the rest of it. I watched it on Netflix, which is why I only got to see up to season two. Apparently, it is a um, sci-fi original show. Sci-fi channel has apparently been getting good. I remember back in the day in like high school where we got crap like Sharknado. So yeah, I think like after I got like a hold of stuff like Stargate Universe, even though I didn't like Stargate Universe, it was well done just wasn't my cup of tea. I love Stargate, Stargate Atlantis, Stargate SG-1, the original movie. Love it all. Star Trek, Stargate Universe, y'all can throw away, or y'all can keep it more relevant. If somebody out there likes it, go ahead. Not me. So I'm going to do an ending this time. My last video didn't have an ending. I hope you've enjoyed this chat. I hope you join me in this chat, and I hope to continue to do chats like this. And I want everyone to stay safe, and I'll see you later. Bye.